promises fade and the strong don't weep. They laughed when I fell face down in the mud. Said that's where he belongs, in the blood. I tasted shame like bitter rain. Carried hunger, carried pain. But in that mud where hope seemed gone, I felt the fire pushing on. I wore my failure on my skin, fought my demons deep within. And in the dark beneath the weight, I chose to rise instead of break. Every fall cut through my pride, every loss stayed by my side. If the world wrote me off that day, I rewrote it my own way. Between the mud and the glory I stayed, from the dirt I rose unafraid. With a stained face and burning soul, I turned the wreckage into control. Between the mud and the glory I fought, when nobody believed I did, I thought if they waited to see me fall, I stayed. I outlasted it all. The road was dry and hard as bone, no mercy carved in stone. I saw good men drown in vice, pay the devil's silent price. I felt defeat crawl up my spine, watch my dreams decay in time. But every scar that marked my name was the very thing that fed the flame. Rock bottom whispered cold and clear, either rise or disappear. So I planted my hands in the ground and pushed back without a sound. In the mirror of a sleepless night, I faced the truth without the light. I almost gave in to the weight, almost surrendered to my fate. But something in my chest still burned, a lesson pain had taught and earned. The mud that drags a man down slow can also make his backbone grow. Each tear became a shield of steel, each wound taught me how to feel. While they called my fall defeat, I was learning how to compete. I admit it broke me down, watched the world kick me around. But the bottom is a ruthless guide, shows what lives and what has died. You either ride beneath the blame or rise up hardened by the flame. If the mud tried to hold my name, it only forged me through the shame. Step by step, night by night, no applause, no guiding light. Pain became my discipline, loss became the strength within. It wasn't luck, it wasn't grace, it was staring fear in the face. While they whispered he won't stand, I was building with my own hands. Every fall cut through my pride, every loss stayed by my side. If the world wrote me off that day, I rewrote it my own way. Between the mud and the glory I stayed, from the dirt I rose unafraid. With a stained face and burning soul, I turned the wreckage into control. Between the mud and the glory I fought, when nobody believed I did, I thought if they waited to see me fall, I stayed. I outlasted it all. Now I walk with steady stride, no illusions left to hide. I carry mud like a crown of proof, built my strength from broken root. The man who nearly lost his way is the one still standing in today. And if the past comes back for more, I won't kneel like before. I ain't made of fame or praise, I'm built from darker days, from dirt that tried to pull me down, from silence thicker than a sound. If glory ever calls my name, it'll know I earned the flame. 'Cause a man who conquered the ground don't fear when the storms come around. I felt I bled, I broke, but I rose instead. From the mud I came, and now I'm on. Between the mud and the glory I stayed. From the dirt I rose unafraid. With a stained face and burning soul, I turned the wreckage into control. Between the mud and the glory I fought. When nobody believed I did, I thought if they waited to see me fall, I stayed. I outlasted it on. Heavy breathing, boots in mud, low strings haunted, silence. It was the mud that stole my name. It was a fall that lit the flame. My worst days stripped me to the bone, left me standing there alone. They laughed loud when I went down, buried my pride beneath the ground. But in the dirt of my disgrace, another man took my place. I felt betrayal cut me deep, felt promises I couldn't keep. Yet at the bottom of that fall, I made a vow to outlast it all. Every bruise became a crown, every loss turned upside down. If the world declared me done, I rose up one by one. Between the mud and the glory I stayed. My worst day made me unafraid. With a wounded soul and burning eyes, I built my throne from broken ties. Between the mud and the glory I stood, turned my pain into something good. If they waited to see me break, I rose for my own sake. The road was cracked and hard as stone, cold as truth when you're alone. I saw brothers lose their way, trade their honor just to stay. I almost sank into that line, almost crossed that fragile line. But in the silence of defeat, I found the strength beneath my feet. Every scar became a guide, every failure sharpened pride. Where illusion once would cling, now conviction wears the ring. In the mirror of a sleepless night, I faced my doubt without the light. My worst day tore me apart, but forged a kingdom in my heart. Mud will stain, but it will teach. Pain will break, but still can't reach the part of you that won't give in, the part that learns how to win. What felt like ruin at the time became the edge that made me climb. The ground that tried to see me crawl was the ground that made me tall. I'll admit it hurt like hell, watch my empire crack and fail. But rock bottom whispers clear, you disappear or reappear. I chose the fire over fear, let the pressure make me clear. If that day was meant to sting, it crowned me king. Step by step through bitter rain, no applause, just steady pain. Loss became my discipline, mud became the throne within. It wasn't luck, it wasn't grace, it was standing face to face with the truth of who I'd be, when nothing else was left of me. Every bruise became a crown, every loss turned upside down. If the world declared me done, I rose up one by one. Between the mud and the glory I stayed. My worst day made me unafraid. With a wounded soul and burning eyes, I built my throne from broken ties. Between the mud and the glory I stood, turned my pain into something good. If they waited to see me break, I rose for my own sake. Now I walk with steady pace, scars like medals on my face. The man who nearly lost his claim is the one who rules the flame. I don't need to shout my worth. I was tested by the earth. And if the past comes back to sting, it'll find a king. I ain't built from gold or fame. I'm built from failure, built from flame. From nights that nearly stole my breath, from staring down my own defeat. If the world decides to test my ring, bring the mud, bring the rain. 'Cause once you've conquered everything, you don't fear anything. I fed broke, I bled rose. From the mud I came, and I claim my name. Between the mud and the glory I stand, with steady heart and calloused hand. Was ruin shaped my ring, what was lost made me king. Between the mud and the glory I live, with nothing left but strength to give. If the fall returns someday, I'll rise the same way. Heavy breathing, dry strings, humming, wind across the plain, silence.